At the end of March, we went to an open day at the Markfield Beam Engine and Museum, which is located in Markfield Park on the River Lee Navigation Channel, next to the Walthamstow reservoirs in North East London. Like its larger cousins at Crossness in South East London, this is a steam-powered beam engine from the Victorian era, built for the sewage works which served the Tottenham and Wood Green area. The engine and engine house have been fully restored, and on certain open days throughout the year, the engines are steamed up and can be seen in full operation. They are no longer used for pumping, and so the engines are not under load, and the only purpose is to keep them in good order, and for enthusiasts, visitors, and educational groups to see the glories of Victorian engineering in action. The beam engine was built in 1886 to pump effluent into the London system towards the Beckton treatment works. It remained in service until 1905, when it was demoted to standby pump for storm water. Operations ceased in 1964, and all the machinery was scrapped, except for the engine, which was mothballed. A partial restoration was undertaken from 1972 to 1976. A complete restoration and overhaul was carried out in 2009, when the engine gave its first demonstration to the public. The engine, museum and grounds were completed and opened to the public in 2010. The engine and pump house are Grade 2 listed, and so are protected and secured for the future. The engine is a 100 horsepower freestanding double expansion compound rotative beam engine built by Wood Brothers of Yorkshire. The flywheel weighs 17 tons and is 27 feet in diameter. There is a Watt centrifugal speed governor, and the drive coupling to the cylinders is a Watt parallel motion linkage. The engine is built within its own cast iron frame, so that it is independent of the brick building, except for the flywheel axle fixing, which has its own iron frame built into the wall. When under load, the engine consumed 200 kilos of coal per hour, and the two pumps together were able to move 4 million gallons every 24 hours. The engine is decorated in an ornate style, typical of Victorian times. I think this was a desire to express high quality and fineness, and our present-day preference for clean lines and minimalistic appearance would have seemed quite strange to them. The Doric columns and acanthus leaves in dark green with red detail are very smart and pleasing. It is thought that the original colours were dark and light green, and before the present version it was light blue and cream. The rocking beam is a rich red, as befits its superior position, held aloft over all the other parts of the engine, cylinders and pistons, flywheel, and rotating shafts. Part of its attraction is that you can see all the moving parts, and so get an idea of how it all works, which is both interesting and educational. In summer, the museum is open twice a month, but only some of these are steaming days. We arrived at midday, half an hour before the start time of the first demonstration. This gave us an opportunity to look at the museum items and read all the information posted around the room, explaining about the engine in detail and giving the history of the facility. Beyond the engine room and the museum lobby is a small room where 2 oil-fired boilers produce the steam. We were given a detailed introduction by one of the volunteers, from his vantage point halfway up the iron stairs above the cylinders, which was very interesting and went through its history, background and purpose. By this time, there were more families with children, sitting and standing around in the narrow space beside the engine. We were asked to cheer loudly to help the machine to start up. The machine duly began to turn, hiss, rumble and thump. The regulator began spinning, the flywheel got up to speed, and the ends of the giant steel shafts attached to it through the cogwheel mechanism began their circular dance. The regular low thumping noise, which seemed to be coming up from the area below floor level, was proof that it was now alive, with a good strong heart beating, and ready to do some serious work. Alas, in retirement it does no work, except be an object of admiration by enthusiasts and a succession of young children who are sure they want one of their own for their next birthday present. Everyone was very polite, with people shuffling around so that everyone could get their photos. About an hour later, the engine slowed to a halt, and the puffs of steam died away. Several thousand photos must have been safely captured in all the cameras and smartphones. I had pictures of every part of it, close-ups of the decorative detail, all the individual components, and the building itself. It was not possible to get the whole engine in one picture, as there is no room to stand back and get it all in one view. Afterwards, we wandered around the park area, finally settling on a bench by the riverside to eat our sandwiches. Although the sun was shining, there was a chilly breeze, and we spent a short time watching the swans and ducks before heading for home.